Oh my goodness, your audience, they have a temperature. Now, if you've been in marketing for a while, you've probably heard this before. We've talked about cold, warm, and hot market. It's standard terms that we hear in marketing. But how can we take people from icy cold to toasty warm, meaning we've just met them on social media and we want them to convert, or we want them to be referring people to us, right, as quickly as possible? Would they say, like, me too, or I agree, or I understand, or I get it, or that's me, to your content on your Facebook page and your Instagram page, like your social media pages, and obviously to the sales copy that's on your funnel? Here's what happens though. Many people talk about, how to get people from cold to hot, but let me talk about something a little bit different. How do we get it so that we start with a warm audience? We're not always starting with cold traffic on social media. And let me just say this quickly as we move forward. If you are doing business alone, you are doing it the hard way. The experts are not doing business alone, but if you are definitely doing it the hard way. So let's have a look at social media for a second, okay? When people first come to us, when we first add them or we start interacting with them, quite often they're a cold lead. This is someone who's new, they don't know you, they necessarily don't like you, they don't trust you. Something that I hear all the time, people saying, is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Well, I'm 1,000,000% disagree. We chase away good people all the time with terrible marketing advice from outdated experts, and they're teaching us to approach people like amateurs. I see people adding people to groups, or they're sending an invite to the business page, or they're sending some spammy all about me pitch in the DMs before they've even liked a post, commented on a post, or even attempted to build fake rapport at the very least. It's like lifting your skirt up over your head as soon as someone comes near you when you're doing a speed dating thing. Like, it's just not the right thing to do, right? So what we want to do is we want to talk about how we can change it. Okay, so if we are starting with cold traffic, how can we start with cold traffic that's going to make the most difference in our business? So this is where you've heard me consistently saying in the traffic section now, if you're doing business alone, you're doing it the hard way, but you have heard me saying over and over again, find the people who could be your dream client, who also have a list of your dream clients, so that when you're starting with cold traffic, you are starting with cold traffic that has a list potentially that you could tap into. A direct approach, a spammy approach, will only work for very few people, and the problem is a lot of the time it's actually going to get you blocked. The other thing that I see is, if you're a new person to me and you come to my news feed, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is, and all you see is buy my product, here's my product, oh my God, here's my offer, oh look, here's a discount, oh my God, here's some fake scarcity, I only have 10 spots left. First of all, that's going to get your ass into trouble with the FTC if you're doing that kind of crap. But the other thing is, it feels like a sense of desperation and scarcity when I come to your social media, rather than it coming from a place of service. Do you really want to help me, or am I just another number and dollar sign to you? So this is where we've got to learn to discipline our patience. And if you don't, you're going to start to get a bad reputation. You're going to have people block you, and you're going to have people unfriend you. People that could have been the person that completely changed everything in your business, but because you weren't patient and you didn't take the time to build the relationship with them, you lost them. The next type of person, obviously, we have is the warm person. This is people who have seen your content. Maybe you've had conversations. Maybe you're rah-rahing and you're commenting on them and they know your face. They're starting to know you. They're starting to like you. Maybe you're still working on trust, which is where our masterclasses come in. Right? This is someone asking for your link, but instead of just giving them the link and stepping back and coming from a frequency of trust that when they're ready, they'll buy, there's instantly a barrage of messages about your products and follow-up messages, and it's just salesy and spammy, and it turns a lot of people off. Chill people, trust in people's power, forcing people to buy stuff and bombarding them is never going to give you a good quality client, and it's not going to give them a good experience often. And what happens then is they talk. Bad news talks a lot more than good news. And then of course we have the last person, who is the hot person. They love you to bits, they know you, they like you, they trust you, they're blabbering to everyone they know about you and how amazing you are. Here's the thing, warm and hot markets have a higher conversion rate. That's just the truth. If we look at a cold market, you might have 1,000 people coming to your Instagram, for instance, right? These are the reels, but only 1 to 3% of them may convert. So this is where we're talking about social media, PR, when they're coming from ads or SEO or cold messaging, all of these different kinds of things, right? But when we've taken the time to warm them up, or we've started with warm traffic, meaning people have referred them to us and we're tapping into the know, like, and trust factor from those people, we start to have, okay, we may have less people. In some cases, we actually have more people, right? But then we start to tap into higher conversion rates. And this is where we're dealing with speaking, where we're dealing with guesting, joint venturing, having affiliates, list sharing, integrations, all of those different styles of marketing, right? And then the last area is the hot area. And these are the people who are the loyal raving fans. These are the people who are going to go on and they're going to buy everything that you create. They're the people that are showing up on your workshops. They're the people that are, maybe doing calls or live events or programs with you, right? But here's the thing. You wouldn't have the warm or the hot market if you focused on the media sale rather than focusing on the relationships and building with those people that have your list. The next part of this is, like I was saying, if you're doing business alone, you're doing it the hard way. So if you're going to be on social media and you're going to be spending time to warm people up because they're new and you want people to return to your social media and to start searching for you and to start referring you, this is the ultimate goal with our time on social media. It's tapping into warm or even hot markets. So when you do a podcast with someone, or you jump on a workshop, or you get into summits and all of those kinds of things, that's the moments when you go from just creating a warm thing to creating raving hot fans, because now they've seen you speaking, they've seen your method, they've seen your personality, and they want in with the next thing. So just remember, whenever you're dealing with people on social media, or when you're dealing with people generally when it comes to your marketing, everyone has a temperature, and your goal is to get them from hot or warm, from cold or warm to hot.